Hi, and welcome back to another update on The Dark Knight Rises. Since my last video, there have been quite a few significant updates, and I thought I'd share my opinions on them with you and see possibly where this movie is going to go. These updates have intrigued me because, as you know now, Anne Hathaway has been cast as Catwoman and Selina Kyle. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt has been, Tom Hardy has been cast as Bane. So now there's two new characters that we have to develop, or Nolan's going to have to develop, along with still having Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon, Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox, and of course Christian Bale's Batman, and also Michael Caine as Alfred. So this will be an interesting... Sorry about that. This will be an interesting movie already. Now, there's been news that Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who was in Inception as Cobb's right-hand man, Arthur, he has been cast. Originally, it was rumored, or it was leaked, I guess, to somebody that Joseph Gordon-Levitt has been cast in the role of the Holiday Killer, or Alberto Falcone, which is Carmine Falcone from Batman Begins, Tom Wilkinson, his son. So basically, Joseph Gordon-Levitt would take over the Falcone crime family that Salvatore Maroni was in charge of in The Dark Knight, but a lot of people presume he's dead after the car crash. He may still be alive, but unlikely. Although Harvey Dent survived the car crash that they were both in, so maybe he did. Who knows? But again, Harvey Dent put his seatbelt on, so who knows? But this will be interesting now because now they've just added another character. If Joseph Gordon-Levitt has in fact been, he has been cast. It's official that he's been cast, but we don't know who he is playing at this point. I still think it probably is going to be Alberto Falcone. I think that the source was I thought the source was reliable, but it's kind of been dispelled now, and it's just rumored that he's Alberto Falcone, but he has been cast. That's an interesting... Oh, and then the other update is Nestor Campbell has been brought back to play the Mayor of Gotham, which I thought he did a pretty good job at in The Dark Knight, so we'll see if maybe he's going to be killed in this movie, if I had to guess, because it seems like no one likes to have major characters die, because then it makes the film like... It makes the villains more credible, I think, if major characters die. So my guess is he's gonna die, much like he almost did in The Dark Knight had Gordon not jumped in front of the bullet that the Joker shot. So now we have two new cast members. Well, no, actually, I'm sorry, one new cast member, one new returning cast member. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Alberto Falcone. This is, I think, a great idea. My only hesitation or trepidation about this is that I'm nervous that there's getting to be too many characters in this movie, too many new characters, that Nolan's going to have to develop, and he's not going to have enough time to do it. I really get nervous when I see all these characters because I know what happened with Spider-Man 3, and in my opinion that movie was a train wreck because there was too many characters and there was too much stuff going on in that movie. That movie suffered from too much stuff going on. TMSGO. But you know what? Nolan, he balanced a lot of characters in Inception. Were they all developed great? No. But he still did balance quite a number of characters. And their personal arcs and stories, like Cillian Murphy's character and, what's her name? Juno. I never can remember her name. Her character, and then of course Cobb and Arthur and Maul. So I mean, he can do it, but I'm hesitant to say that he's gonna do it right. I mean, Nolan has not disappointed me. Every movie he's made, I thought, including Insomnia, I thought has been a great movie. So I don't think that this is gonna break his track record. It's a lot of characters. And hey, you know what? If this is a 3-hour Batman movie, fine. He can do it. He can get all these characters in a 3-hour movie. just like Peter Jackson did with the first two Lord of the Rings movies. They were each 3 hours long, the non-extended editions, and he did develop almost all of the characters, not all of them. Legolas and Gimli didn't have that great a development, but almost all the other characters did. So I think Nolan can do it if he's given enough time. If they limit this like they did The Dark Knight, well, not limit it, but if it's only 2.5 hours long, I have a hard time seeing how all these characters are going to get developed. I don't know where this story's going with all these characters. It's either going to be the most epic superhero movie ever made, or it's going to be it's going to be a disappointment because there's going to be thin characters. And I know Nolan never makes thin characters, so I'm confident that he's going to have enough time to do this. I don't know at this point. I'd like to think that he will. But yeah, in terms of who Joseph Gordon-Levitt is going to play, I think Alberto Falcone is fine. It makes sense that somebody's going to have to step in and run the crime in Gotham. Because Bane, I don't think he would do it. And I also, Catwoman, she kind of is teetering on the brink of being a criminal, but also being kind of an anti-hero. So I don't think she would really get involved with the crime family in Gotham. So it does make sense that Joseph Gordon-Levitt or somebody should come in. Why he got an actor like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I'm not sure, because that kind of implies that it's a character that's going to have a serious amount of screen time. Because Joseph Gordon-Levitt he's not a top billed like popular actor yet, but he's still a respected actor with fairly good resume. So it makes me think that is this going to be this might be on like the level of a Lucius Fox type role. I think it's going to be that much screen time, which is kind of unfortunate because Joseph Gordon-Levitt's a really great actor and he maybe should be given. But that's the thing. There's so many actors in this movie now. It's so many good actors too. It's like how are you going to balance this? There's so many characters. I mean, because nobody really is being brought back from The Dark Knight except like Christian Bale, Michael Caine, and Gary Oldman. Oh, and Morgan Freeman. So it's like since Harvey Dent died and the Joker, well, Heath Ledger, obviously he's not coming back. So it kind of hurts the continuity of the series, but at the same time, I'm intrigued because Nolan said that he sees this movie as like the conclusion to his story that he's trying to tell. Well, from what I can tell, this story is kind of getting more, it's deepening now with this movie because you're adding all these new characters. I mean, I knew they were going to add at least 2 villains, but I didn't think they were going to add like 3 or possibly even 4 because now you've got rumors that Bruce Wayne's going to have a love interest in Marion Cotillard. So there's 4 new characters. I mean, that's a lot. I don't know. We'll see. I think it could be really great, obviously, because Nolan hasn't made a bad movie, but it could also possibly disappoint. I don't know. But yeah, in terms of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he's a great actor, and I hope that he's given a good part. I mean, I don't know. Christopher Nolan clearly is a good writer. Well, him and his brother wrote this movie, so they both know what they're doing. I just maybe it is going to be a 3-hour-long superhero movie like Watchmen. I don't. That would be great. I mean, I think Watchmen was a little under 3 hours, maybe the theatrical version. But not a lot of people saw it because it was too long. That was one of the hindrances of it. But I mean, who cares how much money it makes or how many people see it? I don't really care. I just hope it's a good movie. So if it's a long Batman movie, that's awesome because it just means more time we get to spend with these characters and in this universe before Nolan exits, because this is his last Batman movie. So, I hope he goes out with a bang and like makes an awesome trilogy because you don't see too many good trilogies. You usually only see like when you see trilogies with like 1 good movie, maybe 2 good movies, but never all 3. Very rarely all 3. I can only think of like 2 trilogies off my head where all 3 films were on the same level in terms of quality, in my opinion. And Nolan even said that in an interview. How many good third movies have there been? There haven't been that many. So Nolan almost is challenging himself. I can do it. I can make a really good third movie. Well, if you're gonna if it has a good conclusion, then yeah. But with all these new characters, I don't see how this conclusion is going to be reached in an adequate amount of time, while still having good character development, because there's so many characters. Now I'm going to speculate here as to what the plot of the movie is going to be based on the characters we have now. If I had to guess, I'm going to say that Bruce Wayne, Batman's being chased by the police, as the end of The Dark Knight suggests, and Gary Oldman is basically the only police officer that Batman has any contact with, and it's very rare that he has any contact with Gordon because he can't risk Gordon can't risk other police officers seeing him because the Batman's a fugitive now. He's an outlaw because he was framed for the murder of Harvey Dent at the end of The Dark Knight. So basically, yeah, he's working solo now with Batman. Not that he wasn't kind of before, but now he really is. And at the same time, Bruce Wayne is thinking, well, he's still thinking, how much longer can I be Batman? That's a continuing problem from The Dark Knight. How much longer do I have to do this? Enter Catwoman, who, well, Selina Kyle. It's interesting. Is Bruce Wayne going to know Selina Kyle? That's the key, because they'll know each other, but they don't know who each other really are. She doesn't know he's really Batman. He doesn't really know she's Catwoman. So when they see each other in the streets as Batman and Catwoman, they don't know. That's like an underlying tension between the two of them. So I think that they're going to know each other somehow. They're going to know each other as Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle, but kind of like in Batman Returns, I guess. But clearly Catwoman is going to be a love interest, I guess. But now with Marion Cotillard, supposedly rumored to be cast, I don't know if she is. There's really no verification of that. But if she is cast as Bruce Wayne's love interest, it's going to be it's going to be like a love triangle almost, except instead with two men and one woman, like in The Dark Knight, it's going to be two women and one man. So we'll see. I think that'll be interesting. And then Tom Hardy is Bane. Bane's basically going to be the villain who wants to challenge Batman. He's kind of like the Joker in that he thinks he can beat him. Not kill him, but beat him. Bane will probably kill him because he is not like the Joker, where the Joker's obsessed with the relationship between the two, that the Joker won't kill him, like he says in The Dark Knight, because he's too much fun. Bane doesn't think that way in the comics. If I remember correctly, Bane actually he challenges himself to thinking, I can beat Batman. So I think he's going to fight against him, and or he's going to basically go on a hunt for him throughout the movie. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Alberto Falcone, he's going to be kind of involved in it too. Basically, Bane is going to be Tom Hardy. Bane is going to be interacting with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, basically trying to find Batman, I think, because at this point, Batman is going to be like even more hard to find because he has very limited contact with the police, basically only Gordon, and at the same time, he doesn't want to be Batman anymore. So Bruce Wayne really isn't donning the cape much at all, unless he absolutely has to. But Joseph Gordon-Levitt could also be playing, now don't get freaked out, but he could be playing Robin. And if he's playing some kind of an apprentice to Batman, or the next Batman, maybe, who knows, because there are multiple Batmans in the comics, but if Joseph Gordon-Levitt isn't playing Alberto Falcone, and there's rumors that he's playing some kind of successor to Bruce Wayne, that could be really, really interesting. I don't know if it would work, but it could be a great twist on this story. And also, I mean, I don't think Nolan and Bale really don't like Robin, so I don't see that happening in this movie, but it could. So yeah, that's my theory on where this movie's going. But I have no idea how it would end. It's gonna be, it's gonna be a really great movie to watch because, like I said, this could either be the greatest superhero movie ever, it could be just as good as The Dark Knight, or it could possibly be kind of not as bad as Spider-Man 3, but it could be wanting in the character development stage. So we'll see how it goes. Hope you enjoyed this commentary, and stay tuned.